Hey, good morning, everybody. Oh, it's a beautiful day. The woods is still wet with dew, but hopefully that dries up kind of soon so we don't get soaking wet because we are going on a morel hunt today. And we're going to focus really closely on what to look for and how to find morels, even where other people don't really look. So we're going to be hitting public land, and I'm going to be focusing on how to spot the exact right elm tree. So you want your elm trees to be 1 to 3 years dead. 1 to 2 years dead is the perfect number. And not to say they can't produce after that time, because sometimes they do, but a general rule of thumb is we want to find elm trees that have just died and they're in their first or second year of being dead. And one of my buddies is having trouble. He said all dead trees kind of look alike to him. So we will look close at some, and I'll show you how to tell the difference between like a dead ash tree and a dead elm tree, because they're very similar, and it will help us be successful because we're gonna be on public land, so we have to have our A game, because anybody could go and get them, but we are going to do better than average or something. So actually I took a couple clips a few days ago of the first morels that I found, but it was only a couple clips, so I didn't make it into a big deal video. But I did show some elm trees and an ash tree elm tree comparison. So let's go look at them videos, a couple of video clips, and I'll hit the road and we'll start today's hunt. And we're not stopping until we find morels. It's a little bit early still, but we'll look at some of the factors to look at to tell if the morels are ready, and we'll look at a bunch of trees and we'll find a bunch of morels. I hope. All right, we'll see you guys on the road. Yeah, we are going to start using a GoPro very soon, maybe tomorrow. So it's going to be awesome. We're going to have more steady footage, better quality. We're trying to do some upgrades. Oh, yeah, there's a couple up here too. These are pretty small. Normally, this isn't going to get much bigger either because see how it's already turning, oops. It's already turning a little bit brown on the top. So these are done growing. Okay, let's stay kneeled down and see if you guys can spot one. All right, guys. Hey, what's up? We're in the woods for the first morel hunt of the season. And the reason I turned the camera on is, well, uh-oh, there's a Sasquatch. That's not why I turned it on. Actually, Tom spotted the first morels. Hey, look, Tom, right where I set down my walking sticks. Look at, here we go, see? And we're picking these because they're actually fully expanded out.
Well, that's just a little one.
I know, but it's fully grown for what it is. And we even found a couple that one was getting even a little bit old. So see, oh yeah, see, this is a good way to tell. So you want to pinch them off by the stem. Don't ever pull out the root ball because you don't want to get all that dirt and sand in your bag. So you want to either cut them off or pinch them off at the bottom. Noob mistake is people add that dirt and stuff into their bag and it contaminates it all. Yeah. But yeah, see this little dark spot right here where it's a little darker, that's where it's already starting to get old. So this one's fully grown, so there's no reason to leave it. Here's another one. See, these will have to be washed off too, so sometimes the rain splatters onto them. So these are actually little yellow morels. Yeah, there's more hiding under here. Let's go, guys. Oh, geez. You guys pick them.
You better turn your camera off, Katie.
Why? Tom doesn't want my video to be better than his. We took a little clip, and I think he screwed up his video.
I don't care if yours is better than mine.
Then why would I turn it off?
I just don't want people falling asleep with your narration.
Yeah, right. He's a little jelly. Okay, here we go.
Okay.
Okay, I need my walking stick.
You're going to pick these first.
Okay.
I made Kate.
Yeah,
Trick
because
'em.
he can't bend over.
I can bend over, but I don't want to.
If you want to prove it, I'll record you. No, you better not. I don't want to have to leave you out here. Okay, we'll get these. You look for more.
I am looking for more.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if there'll be more later here or not.
Probably not, because these are yellows already. Let's check it out. Hey, yeah, we got to scavenge some so we can make some money.
Should we sell them for $50 or $60 a pound?
It depends how crazy is the season this year.
With the money I make, I'm going to buy a GoPro.
I'm going to have my subscribers buy me one. Just kidding, Tom. Will you buy me a GoPro?
Okay.
Hey, oh, we have that on footage. I can take him to court. And I'll be like, he said he'd buy me a GoPro Hero 12.
He said it, but he didn't mean it.
No, that can't be your defense. Okay, you know what? I'm going to keep recording because that's what I do. There's a tree up here that we need to check. So what we're looking for here in Wisconsin anyway, is we're looking for newly dead elm trees. So we're trying to find elms that have been dead for between 1 and 3 years is like the prime time for the tree to produce morels. So it's kind of a mystery why they grow under the dead trees. It's some kind of nutrients released from the roots or who knows.
Why'd you leave this one back here?
So you could practice bending over. Tom said it must have found one. So here, see, this is an elm tree. It's getting pretty dead. See, most of the little tiny branches are gone off the top, like the very little end branches are gone. So this will probably be the last year that this would have morels. Oh, I see one. Okay, look around. Yep, once you spot one, you want to really look around. Sometimes you'll even stop. Yeah, you gotta pick some. So what I'm gonna do is kneel down by this one. Okay, so see, we got one here, and I'll just stay kneeled down, and that gives you like a lower vantage point, and you can spot more of them. Here, can you guys see any? Oh yeah, I see one. It's over that log. Here, I'll stretch you guys out. Yeah, can you see it over there? Okay, let's pick this one. I guess I'll have to leave my walking sticks while I have the camera. Oh yeah, right over here. There's a little groups of them. See? And see, even though these are really small, see how these little pockets, these little holes are completely expanded out? That'll tell you that these actually aren't going to get any bigger either. So sometime in the season, I'll find one that is not fully grown, and I'll show you the difference. Oh, this is cool. Such a nice day, too. Oh, yeah, there's a couple. Oh, we should have brought a bag.
I got the bag.
Okay, are you coming up here, Tom?
Yeah, you didn't make a good trail for me.
Tom's coming with the bag. Here, let's make a little pile here for Tom to find. Holy cow, it's getting warm out, guys. Did you hear that? Tom said he's going to buy me a GoPro. He must think they're like $20. What is my spending limit, Tom? Yeah, I was hoping to use my GoPro. I ordered a GoPro, a used one, and the microphone doesn't work. I was going to use it today. So I started crying, and Tom said he might chip in on one for me. Right? We have you on video saying it, so.
Oh, as long as you don't cut out the word might.
Oh, no.
Where are those?
Over here. I'm trying to see if I can pick them up one-handed. Oh, of course, we got dexterity.
Are you sure that they're not going to get any bigger?
Yep.
Of course he's sure, because he picks them.
Because yeah, hey, that's a good Tom joke.
Not a
Do you like these? Okay. Let's keep, okay, I'll shut it off. We're going to scrounge around. I'll usually do some loops around the base of the tree and then work your way out farther. And also one more tip is they tend to grow downhill from the tree, probably because the nutrients that are released from whatever causes them to grow kind of travels downhill. So there you go. First couple tips. Right, Tom?
Don't make up stuff, Caden.
Here's one of them false morels. I'll put the scientific name on the screen. So these are edible, but you have to cook them. Oops, I messed it up a little bit. You have to cook them a lot. Otherwise, they can be poisonous. So I don't really mess with them, but this is what I just commonly call a false morel, or that's what people call them. Okay, guys, I just wanted to show you something. So one of the hardest things to tell apart from a dead elm is a dead ash tree. So I wanted to show you how to tell the difference. So see, here's a dead tree and the bark looks very similar to elm. And if you go straight up, you can see the branches at the top, but they're a little thicker than an elm tree would be. And the reason I'm showing you here is because right next to us is a dead elm. So see, the bark is starting to shag off. But if you look up, the branches are even like smaller and wispier at the very top. They're really tiny little twigs, where the ash tree actually has thicker twigs at the top. And the bark is, from up close like this, the bark is so similar, it would be hard to tell. So the main way I do is I try to spot the little tiny twigs on the top, and then you can tell that it's an elm, not an ash. And also, if it died because of ash borers, the woodpeckers will peel off the bark, and there'll be all kinds of little pieces of small pieces of the bark on the ground. That's another way to tell that it's an ash tree and not an elm. Yeah. So in a spot like this, I think this is a perfect tree. It's pretty small, but it just died. It's only like 1 or 2 years dead. So it honestly probably should have morels, and I don't see any yet. So that means I think they're going to be a little bit later on this tree. So what, I won't walk around on it there. So like I only kind of walked to the edge here and looked, and we'll come back in about a week and check on the same tree. Okay, back to the hunt. Okay, here's another elm tree from a different vantage point, and I think we'll be able to see the wispy top branches. See how tiny the little twigs get up there? And if it was a bigger tree, they almost get like a broom top look, you know? All the branches kind of scoop up like a broom. But this is a low-lying spot that holds a little too much water, so I'm not expecting. The morel spores don't survive in real wet conditions. So if it's a low-lying spot that looks marshy at all, don't even bother. But it's kind of dry there, so I'm going to walk through there. Okay, so we spotted this tree, and look, it's got the little tiny wispy branches at the tips. So that means we know that it just died. You know, it's a first year dead, I would call it. So it's got all of its bark, and it has all of its tiny little teeny branches at the tips. So that's usually the best year, is that very first year dead. And I already came up here and spotted little babies. Not this, that's a big baby. Just kidding, that's Tom. So I was just telling Tom I don't like to stomp around in here too much, so I was like walking on this log. And then I got up in here. Can you see any, Tom? There's teeny ones. Okay, I'll put my finger by one. See? It's the size of the tip of my finger. And then look, up in here. Can you guys see them on the camera?
No, I can't see them.
Not you. The important people. The subscribers. And then see how scrunched together the, you know, the little texture of the morel is? That's how you can tell it's a tiny little baby, and it has a lot of growing to do. So here's one too. So we won't, you know, we won't walk around in here very much. We'll just have to come back in, well, who knows, 5 days? Or what do you think, Tom?
10 days.
10 days. How about it? We'll split the difference. We'll check it in a week.
Split the difference 7.
Exactly.
A week, yeah.
We won't, no, a week's not good. Let's do 7 days.
You always get your way.
I know. That was a joke, though. It's the same.
You're a joke.
Okay, there we go.
I want to see him. I didn't see him yet.
Okay, I'll turn the camera off and show you. Here, let me find a tiny one. Oh, here's the... Here, Tom, this one's for you.
Wait a minute.
Look. Guys, look at my finger. Is that the smallest one you've ever seen, Tom? All right, we're on the road. How did them clips look? See, I didn't even edit that yet, so I don't know how them clips will looked. So, but them were the first morels. Oh yeah, did you guys see them tiny little ones? Man, that one morel was like a 1/4 inch. Hey, there's side character Tom's farm. That's where we were tilling the other day. I say it like I'm surprised that it's there. Okay, anyway, so let's first do a little challenge. We are gonna head to a super, what would the word be? Public area. So we are gonna look at some walking trails that are right in town, basically. And let's see if we can find morels within feet from where just average people are walking by. And let's see if we can make it happen. Okay, guys. So as you can see, we're actually by a very busy road for our little town, and in a soccer field here. We're walking up to some trails, and the first thing I look for is the very tops of the trees. So see that dead tree? Okay, let me stop walking for a second. Okay, see in the very center of the screen, there's some dead branches sticking up. And on the very, like we saw in them clips that we already shown, we're looking for them tiny wispy branches on the tops of the trees. If the branches look thicker on the tops, then it's probably an ash tree. But them look pretty small and wispy, so that might be an elm tree. And if it has that many of its small branches, depending on how the base is growing, that could have morels. And it's gonna be right next to this walking trail. So here, let me just keep the camera on and maybe we'll get a proof of concept. Wouldn't that be cool? Yeah, you could hear the traffic. But it also depends where the base of the tree is growing. So it looks like it's gonna be on this steep slope. You know, if it's buried in, you know, thick, like marshy grass, there's usually no morels. If it's in rocks, you know, sometimes it'll be rocky boulders, you know. So it has to be, ooh, okay, let's see. Okay, now as I'm getting closer, I realize this is an ash tree. But one thing, here, let's get a little closer. Let's, one thing, if you ever are kind of wondering, if you're never completely sure, just go and take a look under it and make sure. It only takes a minute to look under it. Okay guys, here is a good example of the wrong kind of tree. So if you remember from our video clips that we watched a bit ago, this is an ash tree. So see, if you look at the top branches, they're actually kind of thick and stubby. They don't come into tiny little twigs. So see how they kind of spread out? I'll see if I can zoom in on it when I'm editing. So they kind of branch out and they're kind of stubby, but other than that, the bark looks very similar. And this one doesn't have much woodpecker damaged, so, well, not really damaged, but the woodpeckers haven't picked this one all apart. If I see one with the woodpecker debarking, I'll show you guys, because then you can use that also to identify them. Okay, I'll get back with you. Okay, yeah, so this is another ash tree. Ooh, I can't point you guys right at the sun. But see, it's got the stubbier little twigs on the top, and then this one has some of the debarking from the woodpeckers and stuff looking for the emerald ash borer. Can you see that? There's a hole right there. That was probably one of the borers. Yep, here's one too. The lighting's a little crazy, but see, this is all debarking from where the birds were picking out the emerald ash borers. So we know that is not an elm tree. All right, well, no luck here. I couldn't find a single dead elm tree that wasn't ancient, you know? But that's okay. Let's move on to a bigger patch of public land where we can for surely find some elm trees. Okay, we'll see you in a minute. Okay, we are at a big plot of public land. And I'll tell you guys my one tip. Wow, are these all, wait, are these locusts or butterflies? Wow, there's a bunch of butterflies here. Oh, these are cool. Here's my tip for public land. Don't park in the parking areas that everybody else does. Get as far away from where people park as possible. So look, we're about to cross a busy highway, and we're just randomly gonna jump up onto this public land where nobody else accesses it. So basically, we're gonna have this section of woods all to ourselves, and we can even claim our own secret spots because we're so far away from where everybody else would be. So let's get up in the woods and let's try to find an actual elm tree. There's so many dead ash because of the emerald ash borer. So that's important to know how to tell the difference. Actually, I saw a car pulled over a truck. There was a guy looking by some ash trees. So he needs to watch this video so he can tell the difference. Okay, we'll see you in a bit once I finally find an elm tree. Okay guys, I just got back into the woods. I turned the camera off about a minute ago. I wanted to point out what elm tree looks like when it's way too far gone. So see, these elm trees will stay standing for a long time. So see, all the bark is gone off of this elm tree. And it is an elm, so probably 6 or 7 years ago, it had morels under it. But you know what? When all the bark is gone like that, or even most of the bark, I barely even bother to look. I'd rather spend the time trying to find a new freshly dead one that might have 5 pounds under it instead of one morel. So if I'm walking past, you know, so let's see. That'd be funny. All of a sudden there's like 30 morels. So if I'm walking past, I'll glance at the ground, and there's a chance, and you know, some people might argue they've found morels under them when there's no bark, and it's probably true. But if you get stuck on these old spots, you know, you'll be like, well, 5 years ago there was 10 pounds of morels there, and people just check that same spot for years and years, and they just think it's a bad season, or instead of looking for new trees. So that's what we're doing now. We're gonna find a new tree if I don't fall over. Whoa guys, whoa guys, whoa. Look, we got a small, oops, let me see where I'm pointing. See this little small one that my finger's on? And look, it's got the little tiny wispy branches at the top. I'll zoom in again. There, see them tiny little branches? And it has 90% of its bark. I think we're gonna have our first morels, guys. It's pretty predictable once you spot a good tree. One thing I don't like about this ground cover is the oak leaves. I'm not sure if they either just hide in the oak leaves or they don't like growing in oak leaves, because Whenever it's real thick oak leaves, I don't have as much luck. Okay, let's check it out. And I'm already looking over for another tree. Okay, okay, focus. Okay. Here, let's reach you guys over. I mean, I guess we're going to have to get down there. Let's just see if we can spot one from here. I see one. See? I told you it's predictable. When you find the right tree, you're got a darn good chance of finding morels. Yeah, we did it, guys. I mean, I only saw one so far, but still. Okay. I'm already glancing. I might see another tree also already. Ooh. So see, the tiny wispy branch technique works. And it identifies and tells the difference between the elms and the ash. That's like the main thing. Okay, so make sure you don't step on any, so always be aware of where you're stepping. I mean, oh yeah, there is some there. Okay. Okay, they're not very big. Let's check if they look like they're gonna get bigger. I'm a long ways from the car is the only problem. Oof, they do look like they're gonna get bigger. I guess I could mark them on my GPS. Okay, let's make sure we don't step on any. Okay, let's take a look at them here. Oh yeah, darn it. I mean, that's good. So see how it's all the little, see how small this is? And see how scrunched together the little spongy part is? Them are gonna grow still. So see, here's morels growing in here. Look, here's some up in there. Let's see if there's many more. Oh yeah, there's more. Oh look, here's a patch of like 4. See them hiding under the leaf there? Okay, so at this point I kind of stopped walking around because I don't want to disturb any that are trying to grow. What I'm gonna do is mark this one on my phone, and oh my gosh, I see a tree that's gonna be awesome next year. Okay, and maybe, yeah, there might be some more trees that are dying right over there. Let me mark this on my phone, and we will leave these and we will move on. Okay, here's the tree that, oh, this one here that I spotted from over there by the morels, and it's got a few little leaves poking on it, but I think it's about dead. So that one will be a next year tree. So that will probably have morels next year. And then there's a super dead one that I won't even check. And then way behind it, there's a little one that's got some branches. So I'll walk past that one and start looking for the next sure thing. So I'll start recording when we find another good one. That was cool. I spotted some more by that tree when I was walking past. And we're such in the boonies and so far from the parking lot, we don't have to worry about anybody else finding it. All right, guys, so I popped out of the woods way down and crossed the road. And now I'm on some old train tracks, heading back toward my car. I don't know how far it is, but... So I didn't find any other morels or super good trees, but it was a good little scouting mission, and we did find a spot that we can go back and pick. And maybe it'll, you know, when it's the mid-season or finally time to pick them, then it'll make more sense to walk around in there exploring more, you know. So I had enough about walking through all that, a lot of poison ivy, and whoo. So, all right, well, hey, I'll get this video out in case there's any new morel hunters up north here, so they can kind of learn how to identify the elm trees in case they have issues doing that. Wow, there's a lot of catnip here. Look at all this catnip. Ooh, should we do a catnip project? Haha, we got a catnip spot. Wow, look at all of it. See, it's right here. Wow, cool. Wow, see? Sidetracked. All right, we'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.